Hello and welcome to the Grapefully Yours Wine Podcast. I am Jim Campanini, the wine novice, co-host of the show, and I'm with the wine butler,
A wine butler.
Mike Pigeon. What's wrong with me?
You'll get to know me after a few more shows.
I only had one cup of coffee this morning.
It does it, yeah.
People don't realize that. We're drinking wine 8:30 in the morning. What better way to start a robust day, right? With a nice hearty red.
Oh, I think the coffee would be a better standby, but whatever.
Well, I'm wearing my Bruins cap.
Oh, yeah.
Today. They're playing a little better.
You'll keep that as long as they're on a roll, and then it'll be on to another sport.
Yeah, I know. But I'm very glad that they're seeming to gelling. But this thing about changing coaches doesn't really mean that much when they change.
It's hard to sometimes, not always, sometimes.
Yeah. Now they're saying like in the NFL there's going to be 8 or 9 coaches probably fired at the end of the season. Well, how do those teams gain any stability? They even say Gerard Mayo for the Patriots might be on the hot seat. I mean.
They don't have stability. That's the problem. Once you start firing coaches once every 2 years, you'll never get that stability.
Yeah. But and that's why when you look for a nice wine, you want consistency and some stability from year to year. That's why the best producers, are the ones that you should make a list and go for year to year, because you don't want a wine that tastes great one year, then you spend the money the next year, and it's totally different. But there's a lot of, there's a glut in grapes. The volume of sales and consumption are trending downward. That's why prices, going up, and they're trying to offset some of those losses. But a lot of people are starting fly-by-night wineries. They buy the juice, the XX juice, create a nice label,
put a good label on
and say, oh, this wine is from Napa Valley, which it probably is. If it's if it's excess, they're buying it and they put it on the shelf, and then you can't find it the next year. So it's that's why we have this show, to tell people how to research a product and appreciate wine and what to look for. And we've got 2 mystery wines here today that you're going to try, and you're going to tell me a little about them and what you think of them, and then we're going to reveal what they are, because even though last week we did the Wine Spectator Top 100 list. Right, we had a couple of wines around there that were sold less than $20 a bottle. These 2 wines are not on that list, but maybe they should be at least considered. They're both 89.90 wines. Okay, that cutoff list for Wine Spectator was at 90 points, but there's different critics who've rated these differently. But when you hear the price on them and what Mike thinks, then we'll decide how, the value of each of these wines, okay? But first, I got some work to do. I got to clear some stuff for our producer, Teddy Panos, okay? All right. This InsideLowell podcast is coming to you from the Well Point Studios. You see any holiday decorations on
Not as of yet.
I know. I'm very concerned about that. WellPoint, the only health plan offering healthcare benefits exclusively to Massachusetts GIC members. At WellPoint, your whole health is their whole point. Very good. Okay. So I want to just do a little recap of the weekend. A former state senator and longtime donor to the Salvation, the Sun Santa Fund and Toys for Tots, Steve Panagiotakis. He had his annual fundraiser on Friday night at the Shamrock. I went down there. He had a good crowd. He raised $47,000.
Nice handle.
Which was a new record for his fundraiser. It's a one night thing. There was a good crowd there, and so that was a good sign. And then Saturday, the Salvation Army had their, WCAP 980 Radio had their annual Salvation Army Radiothon. That's hosted by Warren Shaw, who does the Saturday morning live show. So we had a couple of auction items, wine dinner tastings, and we originally had two on the docket for people to bid on. One was with our producer, the Teddy Panos, and the Athenian Corner. They were gracious enough to donate one, a 5-course wine tasting meal with Greek wines, all Greek food and wines. And the other one was an Italian wine night from Lindsay's. And Drake it. And, I put a minimum value on each one, $2,000. You listen to the show.
Yeah, and our great friend Marty Meehan, as usual, came through again above and beyond. He always does. He's quite a guy, Marty, when you get to know him. And yeah, he always anxious to donate to a good cause.
And Marty's being very adventurous because he wanted the Greek wine night.
Yeah.
He told me he had been to the Greek Isles the last year. He went to Santorini, spent a week there with his wife and family and stuff. He said he really liked it. So and he bid originally $2,500.
And then you fleeced him after that.
That was Warren Shaw. Warren Shaw said, "Well, geez, and that came only after." Mary Burns in the other bid.
Yeah.
So Mary Burns, she lives in Lowell, a longtime Republican Party advocate.
Head of the party at one point.
Well, she was the head of the party at one time. Now she's UMass trustee. She's on the board of directors at UMass. Well, she and former Lieutenant Governor Karen Polito ponied up $2,500 apiece, put in a $5,000 bid for the Lindsay's wine. So that in turn, Warren gets a twinkle in his eye and says, "Hey, Marty, are you going to let them outbid you?" And Marty looks around the room. "Well, what are you going to say? You're on the radio, people are listening."
Put him right on the spot.
Put him right on the spot. And Marty being the generous sort that he is, and says, "Well, I guess I can get a partner. So put me down for $5,000." He said, So $10,000. That's a new record for the two wine dinners.
And that was only over a 10, 15-minute span that you got that.
Yeah. And then Susan Shea and her friends from Drake who pooled their money together last year to win one of the wine tasting at Lindsay's. She called in and she said, "Oh, gee, that's way over our head and stuff." And
I've never met her, but she sounded like a really fun person to know on the radio.
Group, 10 people. They pooled their money together, and that's why I wanted those people to get involved, And it was a really spectacular night. And she said, "Gee, So, I said, well, in the spirit of, the spirit of giving and for the Salvation Army, she said, well, I wanted to bid $1,500. I said, would you go $1,600? And she says, yes. And I said, sold. And so Marty turns to me and says, hey, wait a minute, I just bid $5,000. I says, yeah, Marty, but you're going to get the special wines. He bought it. And so we'll see. But we're going to have, I'm really excited about the one at the Athenian Corner. We went to Greek wine tasting, was it a year ago, 2 years ago?
And how about the food we got there? Forget the drinks, which was excellent.
Spectacular.
Boy, that was a great night.
So that should be a great night and everything. But we raised $11,600 for the Salvation Army. All the proceeds go to the Salvation Army, and now it's up to the restaurants. They donate their time and resources, the food, and that's their contribution, and then the wines are on my pot and stuff. So it's going to be a nice. Everybody involved went way overboard, and including the people who purchased them and stuff. So we should have a.
Yeah, the goal was met by both places.
I'll be working all year, Mike. I'm retired. How am I going to get on the golf course?
Oh, you'll find time.
My wine cellar. I'm going to have nothing in it. There's not going to be anything for you to drink in the wine cellar after The shelves would be bare.
I spend some time with you. A lot goes in, but not too much comes out.
All right, so that was a great great holiday treat last week and stuff, and it'll be a great time. So we got 3 to do. Now, getting back to our wines today, as you can see, they're all covered up. These are the mystery wines, and I would you believe it that one of the one of these wines costs $15.99, and the other one is $11. Both of these wines, okay, scored 90 points. Wine Spectator gave them both 89 points. James Suckling gave them 90 points. And I've always said, you know, you want to be a well-informed shopper. You know, if you go to the market to buy your food, you're always checking prices. I mean, especially now, prices going up. You know, you get your circuit, you go to one store, you look at one store, the food. I mean, you have to if you want to save money nowadays, right? Why don't people do it with wine? Purchasing their wine. They just grab anything they see on
No,
the
they
shelf.
grab. I think a lot of times it's the pretty label. I really do. A woman will go in and, well, even me, you know, if the wine label looks, good art there. I'll try it. It's just,
One of these wines is made by an iconic Italian winemaker. You can go online today and Google this wine, and you'll see it online selling it for $29.
is this a red or a white?
Red? They're both red.
They're
wines.
both red wines, are they? Yeah.
So this is what I say. But when you research and look for something and you see it on the shelf, you take a picture of it. Even if you don't buy it, then go home, look it up. Now and then. Why is this wine selling for $11? Okay, well, it could be a closeout wine, meaning the new vintage is coming in. Because when I saw it, and right away my eye saw the famous label, because this winemaker is known also as an artist, and he creates these really interesting labels. And I said, what the hell is that doing? On the bottom shelf, it said $10.99.
Oh, yeah, that's where that woman from
So I
Drake
get
is.
down on my hands and knees, and I look. There were 5 bottles in the rack, and I said, they're getting, you know, and because there was some other wines that were, you know, I saw the labels and said, wow. I says, this is a real steal here, you know. So I looked on my phone right away, looked it up. I said, holy shit, you know, and, oh, excuse me. But and then the other wine that I saw came from something a couple of years ago, and I'm not going to give you any hints, but we were at a very unique and rare wine tasting. We tasted this wine and we liked it. So let's see if it holds true today. So I'm gonna open this first one, and these are not screw top wines, although some of these versions do have screw tops. These producers, but these 2 wines both have corks. Okay. So you don't have X-ray vision, right? You can't see through that.
No, that's a great brand of paper towel there. I don't. It's about Bounty. Even.
My wife this morning, because I wrapped the boat this morning. She'll probably come up and say, "What happened to all the paper towels?" Yeah, but I'm not going to show you the cork.
No.
Okay, I'm not going to show you the cork. And you get a little right here. Look at that color. I don't know if that'll give you a sign to where it is. Oh, Jesus. I had water in there. I got to take this water.
I don't know, Jim. I don't know.
I'm a little off today. It had to do with that football game last night. How can you block a field goal attempt and lose the game? You know? And that's what Dallas
Punt,
did.
wasn't-
When things are going wrong, they,
Block a punt.
I mean, block the punt. Yeah. Was it a punt or a field goal? It was a punt. Yeah. Yeah. But usually you block a punt, you recover the ball, but they muffed it. Oh man, crazy. But anyway, that color's pretty good, huh? A purple, nice purple
That's
color.
a very berryish wine.
Yes.
Oh, boom.
Boy, I tell you, this guy's on his game today. Picked it right up. Yes. Strong berry fragrance and taste. Really nice, vibrant color, which says that, the wine is not an older wine, okay?
This isn't a blend, is it?
It is a blend.
It is a blend? Boy, it tastes like straw right out of the...
What do you think of the
Wow.
texture?
Well, you said it's an Italian wine.
I said I
You
didn't
said
say
the
anything.
winemaker is an
One of them. One of them.
One- oh,
It
one of
could
them.
be- It could be this one. It could be the other one.
Boy,
Okay.
well, yeah.
So the first one right here with the white neck. What do you think? Is it worth the 89, 90 points? You think?
Oh, sure.
You are right.
Oh, sure.
The acidity it's very harmonious.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's there. The tannins are soft, they're polished, because you get that little nice tightness at the end there on you. But the berry fruit is really live and energetic.
Very much so.
So it's like a refreshing drink. And this has got because this was in the wine cellar all night. Usually I bring them upstairs, so before we come into the show, and so it's a little chilled.
I like a chilled red wine. There is nothing
it's
wrong
very,
with a
very-
chilled red wine.
Very nice. And look at that nice strong color. It's got some ruby hues, violet hues
Now,
in
was
there.
this a $11.99 bottle?
I'm not going to say right now. One is $15.99.
Oh, okay. So
and one is
after we
$11.
taste the second one, we'll make a little.
I mean, this would be a great holiday drink. It is. I'm not going to tell you the full details right now,
Nice wine. Yep.
but it is a blend
Yep.
with Cabernet Sauvignon. Believe it or not,
Really?
Cabernet Sauvignon. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I'd say it's a winner. Okay.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
All right. Get that. Okay, I want to just get a little water, clear my palate here. Would you like some water?
Just a little. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Don't forget to empty it this time.
Okay. Now we're going to do number 2 here.
I don't want to hear you complaining about watered down drinks.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And do number 2 and open this up. So, have you done your holiday shopping at all and got that all out of the way?
I'm on the way. Yeah. We went out with Judy and we got a little wrap on it. Yeah.
Oh man, I tell you, getting the cards out to the nieces and nephews. I give them, I give them gift cards and stuff, and you got to hunt down their addresses. I mean,
I know.
I've got 2 nieces in Indiana. I mean, they're stable, but my nephews are all over the place, but yeah, it's a great time. But no matter how many times you do it, how many years, there's always stress. And I tell the wine goddess, I says, hey, just relax. Enjoy the season, But got a lot on her plate. She's got a lot on her plate, me being number 1. But, okay, let's look at the color.
Oh, it doesn't match
Do
the
you think
depth
that
of
other
the
one
color.
was an Italian wine? All right, this is by far, what's the color compared to the
Lighter,
other one?
much lighter, yeah.
Much lighter. More fragrant, less fragrant?
Less favorite. It doesn't hit me like
Mm.
wow, not as enticing, but
Mild, yeah, yeah. It's not as that strong berry. It's not that strong berry taste. And the color is a little, it's paler. It's not. You can see right through the bottom of the glass. It's yeah.
Is this a blend also?
Mm. Mm.
I can't. You're much better at this than me. I just can drink and say it's good or it's not. Yeah.
Come on, you've had this taste.
I would say
before.
this is a more expensive bottle,
Okay.
but I could guess anyway. I could say it's a Sangiovese or something, and
It is.
which it is. It's
It
a little,
is. It's
not sour, but
I'll give you that because it is very smooth.
Mm.
It is, and
Yeah.
the Sangiovese.
I've had that
taste,
before. I
it
know
comes
that.
right through, right from the beginning. Those elements, the little,
Yeah.
and it's got almost like a nice soft cherry, that nice cherry. That
Naturally,
soft
they
cherry.
each have a different taste because they're two
Yeah.
different
Oh,
wines.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
you
yeah.
can't.
But the Sangiovese,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that's iconic, just like a Cabernet is. I mean, it just comes right through the, and this has a little minerality, rustic or minerality flavor. Mm. I could drink this with my eggs, and it's got a mild, mild length aftertaste, but that mid palate, soft, enticing. Mm. A little secondary flavors, and it's not as strong, not as deep as this one. Is a little more penetrating. Okay,
Yeah.
so you're ready for the reveal?
Yeah. I think this is the more expensive bottle right there.
Okay, so we tasted this winery's products several years ago, and we were bowled over by it. I don't know if we specifically had this bottle, but this is from the great state of Israel, Dalton Winery, Canaan, and right from Galilee,
Galilee.
the 2021, and it comes from
There were two
the
wines.
Upper Galilee. So okay, think about the desert, Middle East. It's very hot and stuff, and but Galilee, the Upper Galilee, that's the only spot where they have those hills and mountains, and they've created.
Isn't that up in the Golan Heights? No.
I don't
Galilee.
know. Yeah,
Galilee is more middle,
Yes.
isn't it?
Well,
in the ocean.
their vineyards go right up and bump up to Lebanon.
Yeah, that's
Okay?
probably
The border of Lebanon. So they've been almost in a war zone over there now. Okay, and so far the winery has, the winery and the other wineries in the area have been spared. But the big thing is, these are from the highest point. So the Cabernet grapes get a lot of sunny exposure, but they also get the wind because that wind in the desert and comes in off the Mediterranean stuff, and they do make good wines. And so I'll tell you what this is. This is a Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, Shiraz, and Petit Shiraz. Now Shiraz is Syrah, and this is a Syrah dominant wine, okay, with those other varietals mixed in. Okay, and they change the blend, the proportions every year based on the quality of the grapes. Okay, it says here the tasting notes: Canaan is an easy drinking, medium bodied red wine. I agree, with sweet fruit, with notes of black pepper, cherries, and plums. Low tannins and soft vanilla tones. Did you pick up that, the soft?
Not so much vanilla. Well, no. I thought the other one was softer, but no, I didn't get vanilla tones in there. But
Is made with it for immediate consumption. They said it's good for with pasta, pizza, poultry, and mixed grills. It is also an excellent party wine. What does it say for the alcohol level? It's 14%. 14%. So who would think that a nice blend like that? I mean, Israel does produce some great wines, and this is kosher also. So you could for Jewish holidays, you could put this on the table and have it with your meal.
And not all Jewish wines are kosher, though. That's
No,
a whole
no.
separate process that's got to be watched over. And yeah.
This winery is now in the year 2025 will be in his 25th year of operation. So they started from scratch in 2000 and in 2022 they originally had a production of about 100,000 bottles of wine. This now they're up to 1 million bottles a year annually. So they're one of the largest producers in the Galilee region, and people might say, "Well, how come I've never seen it?" Well, there wasn't much of a market because of the the import-export business. Okay, Israeli wines aren't known in this country, except where there are Jewish populations, New York and other areas. But now the quality is gaining so much ground in the European Union. They've got partnerships there, and they're selling more in Europe and even in the southern Greece and everything. So they're getting notoriety, but no, you normally don't see them. I saw this bottle at the Market Basket wine store in the Tewksbury Lower Line, and I saw it and I said, "Wow, I haven't had that in a while." And I saw the price, and because Dalton does have a line of premium wines, but for something different in the quality, it's right there. So it's it's from Israel. So now this is the find of the week, though. This one. 𝐷𝐷𝐸𝐳, okay? He's an iconic winemaker. You look at the label. He created the label. All his wines carry his own artistic label and stuff. But this is called Casamata. This is the entry-level wine, Sangiovese, 100% Sangiovese, for 𝐷𝐷𝐸𝐳. And his winery is located just outside of Florence in Fiesole, okay? But it's one of the most hilly spots around the Florence area. And what separates it from a lot of the others is the hills loaded with granite and limestone. And so the Sangiovese comes through with a very mineral element to it, Now, his top of the line wine is Testamata, which I have 6 bottles in my wine cellar. When I bought those bottles about 5 or 6 years ago, they cost about $45, $50 a bottle. They were rated 94 points. They got them in at Vino Italiano. It's the first time he ever got them in his store and stuff. That Testamata is now selling for $116 a bottle. And the new Testamata is in that $100, $90 to $120 range, okay? So when I saw this Casamata, this is the entry-level bottle. My interest was piqued. And I says, "Wow, I've never had the Casamata, but it's the entry level, made from he does not have vineyards. He buys the grapes from the vineyards in the local area, okay? He's got contracts with some of the best in the area. And he makes this as his entry-level wine. Like I said before, if you go online, it's selling for $29 a bottle on some online outlets. This was on the bottom shelf at the New Hampshire liquor store, $10.99. And what attracted me was that label. I said, "Jesus, I've seen that label before." And 𝐷𝐷𝐸𝐳 is right on the bottom of the label and stuff. And you know, when I did my research, I saw that that was the entry level wine, 100% Sangiovese, no oak fermentation, all done in steel. And BB does that because he wants the wine to be fresh.
And
Okay.
taste the terroir.
And yes, right, and taste the natural richness of this grape, and also it's 100% organic, same as the Dalton wine. They're both organic wines. So, like I said, when I saw this on the shelf, I scooped up 2 bottles. I left 3 behind, and this is the 2021. And sure enough, one of the agents told me at the store, well, he says, I don't know for sure, but I believe we're getting the latest vintage, the 2022 or 2023. It has to be the 2022. They usually age the Sangiovese for 8 to 12 months and stuff. So it's probably the 2022 coming in. When that hits the store, it'll probably, you know, sell in that $18 range. Maybe you get it for less, but I think it's worth the try. You should look for it. You get those discounts at the store, but you know, there might be some bottles in the other stores. This was the Nashua store. You could look online, look up Casamata, and then different stores that'll tell you, you know, the Pelham store, the Salem store, if they have any. I mean, I tell you, for Sangiovese, the quality of Sangiovese, BB Greats is a rock star in the wine industry in northern Italy. You can't go wrong. These will be great holiday gifts. If you give the gift of wine, you know, and surprise your guests, whether it's the Israeli wine, they say, gee, what is this? Wait till they taste it. They'll say, how did you know this? They'll think you're an expert like Mike Pigeon. You know, or the
more glasses.
or the Casamata.
Yeah.
So
Now, was this the only wine they had from
No.
Israel? Because I remember when we went to that, and it was very interesting learning about the state of Israel. But they didn't. A lot of the wines that we tasted didn't have distributors
that's right.
yet.
That's right.
Yet. So I'm wondering if they have.
There's on the shelf I saw Barkan, Barkan, and then Dalton. They had several different bottles from Dalton.
so
they
they
even
must-
had the
yeah.
white. Let me see, who does it say who the distributor is? Yeah, it says Allied Imports, Brooklyn, New York. So so I got to commend Market Basket for bringing that wine in. You know, they have a nice selection of different wines, and small Portuguese, Greek. Matter of fact, they had a great Greek wine that I want to suggest to Teddy. I looked it up. I mean, it's in the $40 range, but it was. I looked it up on my wine app. It was really high ratings and stuff, reviews. So we'll have to try that. So these were our mystery wines for the week. Both great buys. The Dalton Canaan, a Cabernet Merlot Shiraz and Petit Shiraz blend for $15.99. And then the Casamata Toscana, made by BB Greats, the 2021. It's $10.99 selling. Bottom shelf. You got to get on your hands and knees. You go into the Italian wine section, okay, and look for it. You'll see that yellow label, okay, and it's a steal.
When you keep saying bottom shelf, I can't help but think how I laughed during that fundraiser there for the Salvation Army. That woman from Draycott, is it Susan Shea?
Yes.
Yeah.
Shea,
Where you mentioned on the bottom shelf, and she says, Jim, I don't even know where the bottom shelf is. She said, that's my problem.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, but you can. It doesn't hurt to reach down there every now and then and try an inexpensive one. Might
No,
surprise
and you know what? Usually there are the bulk wine is down there, the lower, the lower priced wines. Some of them are not the best of quality, but they're they're drinkable, but like I said, they put those wines down there when they're expecting the new vintage coming in, and the deliveries are coming on. But I still don't understand the marketing, because this could still go in between, the $20, $30. You could put it right between those Sangiovese, and you'd be doing your consumers a service, because they'd say, wow, why is that $11 wine in between a $25 Sangiovese and a $30 Valpolicella? Well, once they see the label, if they know anything about BB, they're going to buy it, and they're going to say, "Wow, I saw this at the New Hampshire liquor store or the Wine Connection or whatever." I mean, why make it hard for consumers to get a good deal, right? Put a little label on it. Hey, this is the end of the vintage, but it's a 90-point wine. Where are they going to get it for $11? It's Sangiovese,
Yeah.
So. And of course, Israeli wines don't get enough attention for what they deserve, and especially with climate change. I mean, all those once considered arid and hot areas and are now, it's changing,
just
it's getting cooler, and they've been able to develop their grapes to full maturity. So great.
Get the full intensity out of them.
Yes. So anyway, that's our show. We're giving you something to think about, right?
Very good. Yep.
Anything new? Anything you want to add to this?
No. Yeah, I remember we went to that one with the Jewish wines. That was a great take. I learned a lot about. Unfortunately, over 2 years, I forget a lot, but learning about that whole state.
And remember the lobster presentation they had?
Oh, can't forget that. Yeah.
they had the Israeli white wines, which were very, very good. But they had a lobster spiral lobster tray with the sandwiches. So it was on a spiral tray, and I remember talking to a couple of producers, and I had my left eye on Mike, because he just kept.
Oh no! I hate to see food go to waste. You put it out.
Well, I remember you coming over. You said, "Jim, you better go
get over there."
Yeah. So he said, "You better get over there. They're all going to be gone." But they kept coming over, and that wasn't the City Winery. That was another. It was another place uptown in Boston that we went to.
On Newbury Street, it could have been.
Newbury Street. Yeah, it was nice. But anyway, so until we see you again next week, right?
Yep. Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday. May the wine be with you.